everyone, Sabrina here from Scrappy Tails Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be creating 3 heart-shaped chocolate boxes using some new products by Scrappy Tails. This is the heart-shaped chocolate box die set. You get both the front and back that I just showed you included in that set. I'm going to also use the scalloped hearts die set and the intricate heart. I don't really use this set really, I just use that center heart in order to cut a window from one of my boxes. And then I'm also going to pull in the new chocolate truffles die set and the 3D rose die. That rose you get free if you spend $125 or more, and I do have a few of them left to go around. So I went ahead and die cut a bunch of those from 2 shades of red cardstock. My plan was to fill an entire box with roses, and then my second box I was going to fill with calorie-free chocolate, I guess, using this die. So I went ahead and die cut all of my pieces from different shades of brown cardstock, and then the wrappers I die cut from a dark gray cardstock. Here I'm just showing you that they all match up. I think there are 9 different designs, and the slot inside the box holds 10 chocolates. So you'll need 10 of those. And then for the actual base itself, I cut some bows out. I cut some of the Be Mine and the Love that's included in the set. I cut the large heart twice from pattern paper, the smaller heart once, and then from one of the 2 larger hearts, I die cut a scallop heart window from the center. So that's for my red polka dot box. I also die cut a black glitter frame by nesting those 2 heart dies together. For my second box, I created a gold mirror frame. Then I have 2 of the large hearts again. One of those I cut a scallop window from the center, and then I have one that I cut from the smaller heart. And then same thing with this black and white one. I have 2 of the large hearts. One of them I cut a heart from the center. Then I have one of the smaller hearts and then a red glitter frame. And then from the side pieces, I cut 4 from each pattern. So here I have 4 of the red polka dot, 4 of the pink polka dot. The pink box I wanted to have my chocolates inside, so I wanted to have a grid inside this one. So I die cut all my pieces for the grid. I cut the longest one once, the flat short one once, and then the one with the 2 tabs I die cut 3 times. And then for my black and white polka dot box, I die cut my strips from dark gray, because I didn't have enough of the actual pattern paper. So in order to create one of these boxes, you will need 2 12 by 12 pattern papers. So I had 2 for the pink and the red, but I only had 1 for the black and white. So I decided to go with the black side pieces. All right, so now we're going to start my first box here. I'm going to glue that red glitter frame to the top lid. This is going to be the top lid of my box. I went ahead and die cut the center from that intricate heart die that I showed, just to get that window frame. I'm going to prep my side pieces, and here's where I noticed that those prongs that die cut from it were too long, so I'm going to have to trim those. But before I glue the side down, I want to make sure that I cover my window. This is great if you want to put real chocolates inside. That will prevent them from falling out. Plus it adds a really nice shine and it looks like a real box. So I actually die cut some clear plastic. It's like a very thin plastic. I get it from Clear Sheets. It's basically acrylic actually, so it's much heavier than acetate. It's more sturdy. I find with acetate that it can buckle, especially if there's a lot of weight inside. So I went with this stronger acrylic. You can use leftover packaging if you want. I will have the 12 by 12 sheets that I use linked down below. They do die cut, but not all the way. So you will have to go in with your scissors and cut around it, but it will indent the acrylic. So your scissors will kind of guide through the plastic. All right, so in order to attach these side pieces, you're going to add glue to those little prongs. You can start from the top of the heart at the halfway point or at the tip, which is what I did, and you basically just go all around the side. So you will need 2 to do both halves of the heart. I do like to add glue to all of the prongs and then quickly move around the heart, just because art glitter glue dries pretty quickly, but it is very easy to manipulate the paper to go around the heart. So here I have my second piece. You can see that I trimmed those prongs so that you don't see them through the window. Here is the tab at the very end to connect those 2 sides together. So my first piece, I have the side tab at the bottom. So this one, I'm going to have the side tab at the top, and I'm just going to attach my first side to the second one. And then I'll go ahead and wrap it around. I am wrapping the top lid to the very edge of the heart. The bottom part of the lid, I'm going to glue more inside the heart so that the box will close. So there was the top lid, very easy. Now I'm going to do the bottom. So same exact thing. I'm going to fold down those prongs. This time I did not cut them because you're not going to see them. And I'm going to start from the bottom of the heart. And this time I am pulling that side piece inside the heart, maybe a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch. It really depends on how tight you want your box to be. I usually stick with a 1/16 of an inch because I really like a tight sealed box. And I know it's kind of hard to see in the video, but you can see on the top right how there's a little bit of white showing. All right, so here I have my second piece. I'm going to add glue to the tab on the first one that I added, and then I will wrap it around my second side. And these line up perfectly. Now, because I am gluing these slightly inside the heart, I am going to have to trim this piece just a little bit at the bottom. So I'm actually going to trim that tab. I think it's about 1/2 inch at the moment. I probably trimmed it to about 1/4 of an inch, just so that there wasn't too much overlap. I didn't want it to get caught when I closed the box, so that's why I trimmed it, but you don't necessarily have to unless you want to. All right, and then this is the smaller heart that's included in the die set. This actually has score lines that will impress into the paper when you die cut the die, so that you know where to glue your grid. In this case, I don't need a grid. I plan on adding a bunch of flowers inside, but that is there so that you know where to glue all your bars for your grid. All right, so here I have a red glitter bow. I backed it twice with heavyweight white glitter cardstock to have it pop up a bit. I glued it just to the center of the bow so that the wings, I don't know, the loops, I guess, would pop up a little bit. So now I am going to create my roses. So this is the freebie die in this collection, and I'm sure you guys have seen these type of dies before. They're really fun. All you really do is swirl them around. So I'm adding glue to the base, and I'm literally just wrapping it around itself to create a 3-dimensional rose. I thought that this would be a perfect freebie for the box because the box is about 1 inch deep and these flowers get to be about 3/4 inches tall. So they're nice and dimensional for inside the box. They also look great on cards, but I did design it for the box in mind. So now I want to create the bud of the rose. So the one I just showed you, I kind of just looped it around. I didn't think much of it. But for this one, for the center of the rose, I'm kind of bending that center more to create a bud. I'm also wrapping it much tighter than I did. So this will end up being much smaller, but it's going to look more like a rose. And I will glue this darker piece inside the one that I just created. And then that's going to create a really pretty two-toned flower. But same thing, once I get the bud made, which is usually the first 2 turns or so, it's pretty easy then to just continue wrapping. And then for the bud, I typically fold down some of the petals just to give it a more realistic look. So I think I ended up making 9 total flowers, and you can fit more, but I wanted you to see some of that polka dot pattern from the inside of the box, so I didn't, glue my roses tight next to each other. I could have probably fit 2 or 3 more. So here I'm going to go ahead and glue that center. This one I didn't wrap quite as tightly as I did. I kind of created different ones, and with this die you're going to have different roses every time. So some will be more tight, some will have that bud, and some will be more loose. But for me it didn't really matter because I ended up putting a gem in the center of them, so you don't really have to worry about creating a perfect rosebud. So here I have all of my flowers laid out inside my box. You can still see some of that pattern peeking through, which I think is really cute. I love black, white, and red for Valentine's Day. I think it's great for masculine cards. And I see these boxes for Valentine's Day every year where it's a heart-shaped box and inside are roses. So that's kind of the inspiration I had for this card. Or it's not a card, it's a box. By the way, this box is 6¼ inches wide by 6 inches tall, and my last box I put real candy inside, and I was able to fit an entire bag of Hershey Kisses inside, so you can definitely fit a lot of sweet treats inside these boxes. I wanted to make sure that it was nice and large in case people did want to put real candy inside. So yeah, I felt like these flowers needed a little something to them because they were really red and they were kind of just looking like blobs at the moment. So I just added a clear gem right to the center of each of them. Pretty big sized gem, but I really like how this turned out. These gems are actually from Michael's. The ones that I have in my stash that are more craft gems were too small, so I thought these were perfect. Here's a close-up, and then we're on to the second box. So I went ahead and did the exact same thing for the top and bottom part of the box, and now I'm going to attach my grid. So I mentioned that there were score lines on the sides of the heart, the smaller one, so that you know where to line up these pieces. So the ones that are completely flat at the bottom are the horizontal bridges, I guess. The ones with the 2 tabs are the vertical bridges. So you're going to want to make sure that you glue the horizontal ones first, and then the vertical ones will just slip inside the slots of the horizontal ones, so everything is going to line up perfectly. And I'm adding my glue to the tabs that are touching the bottom of the box, so I'm not adding any glue to the actual side of the bridge, just those bottom tabs that I just showed there. And then you can see those slits line up with each other and it fits like a puzzle. Really cute. I love that grid. So now I'm going to work on my sugar-free chocolates. And this die includes several design layers and then a solid layer you can add behind to create a 2-tone chocolate. So there's rectangles, hearts, and circle truffles. And these have been super popular with the design team and with the Scrappy Tails customers. I did restock them, and they're just really cute. I think adding rhinestones or some kind of confetti to them would be really cute. Desiree actually added Nuvo drops to hers, and it kind of gave this like sprinkle look. So I thought that was really cute, but I kept mine super simple. I cut the chocolates from 3 shades of brown cardstock, and then I just offset the colors. And I am going to pop them up just because that box is 1 inch thick. I want to make sure that these stand out. So I am adding triple layer foam tape to the chocolates, and then I'll add the wrappers behind them. And then to the back of the wrappers, I'm going to add the same triple layer foam tape. And that's going to pop them up pretty much to the level of the grid. And this foam tape is by Uline. I will have it linked down below. It is super sticky, but it's great for 3D projects like this. All right, so I'm gonna pull in my box again, and you're gonna notice that some of those side squares are smaller, right? Because it's a heart shape. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you add your circle truffles and your heart truffles to those smaller areas. And then the rectangle ones look the best in the center. And then some of them I'll have to rotate a little bit to have them fit perfectly. But yeah, don't those just look so cute? I love creating these see-through boxes. All right, so my box got a little bit dirty, so I'm just taking a paper towel and wiping it off. And then I'll add my lid on top. And then I'm going to add a gold bow to this box. Again, 2 white layers behind it so that it pops up. And this bow is included with the chocolate box, as well as this love word die. I'm going to add 2 layers of white cardstock behind my gold mirror layer to help it pop off the box a little bit. And then I will adhere that to the bottom right of the box. I didn't want to cover much of the window because obviously I want you to see those chocolates inside. But I think the addition of the bow is really cute on all of these boxes. All right, and that will complete my second chocolate box. And here I'll open the lid. It's nice and tight. And you can add real chocolates inside the grid if you want to as well. I thought little Rocher balls would be really cute. So for my third design, I went ahead and constructed the box. I'm going to add 2 heavyweight black die cuts behind this black and white polka dot bow, and I offset this one to help it stand out a little bit. I thought that was really cute. And then I'm going to layer up my Be Mine. So I'm doing 2 layers of heavyweight black cardstock. And then the top layer is black glitter cardstock. But I felt once I added my candy inside, the Be Mine just wasn't standing out enough. So I did die cut it again from white cardstock, and then I'm going to offset the black and the white. And it's going to pop out much better than it currently is. Here I even realized with the red background it wasn't standing out, so I decided to add this leftover scallop that I die cut from my second box. I decided to add that inside this one to help that Be Mine stand out more, and it definitely does, but again I put the candy in and it just got lost. So you'll see that I changed that. I'm going to go ahead and glue down the scallop heart inside. Clean up the window sheet a little bit. and then add my Hershey Kisses. And I added an entire bag of Hershey Kisses inside this box. So these are great little Valentine gifts for maybe coworkers or kids' Valentines, teachers, because you can fit so many candy inside. I also think M&Ms would be cute. But I like these Hershey Kisses. They're silver, pink, and red. Very Valentine-ish. Here's where I add the white die cuts on top. I think that looks much better. Just to fill in some of the areas, I added some polka dot hearts. And then that's going to finish off my last Valentine box. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video tutorial. I will have all of the products that I use linked down below. There's also an Instagram hop happening over on the Scrappy Tails Instagram page, so definitely go check that out, see some more inspiration, and leave your comments. I am going to be giving away 3 $25 gift cards to Scrappy Tails. So thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't yet already, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see some close-up pictures, you can head over to my blog. I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.